Hi, welcome back to the second part of the video of making my very first epoxy coffee table. In this video I will show you how I attempt to cut this long board by half and then try to create some random shapes for the two boards. So I bought this board here at the Home Depot. So this is a 2 by 12 by 8 foot long, and then I will cut this board by half and then try to use the pencil to create some random shape on these two boards, and using the jigsaw to cut along those shapes. Usually on YouTube videos I have seen a lot of people using the slabs to create to make their coffee tables. Those slabs are pretty expensive, and to me, like if I buy an 8 foot long slab with the a little bit wide, the width of a little bit wider than 1 feet, it could cost me around at least $100, depending on the type of wood that I like. So because this is my first epoxy table, so I just want to start small and buy some kind of a cheap panel to work with to see how everything turns out, and then maybe for my next coffee table I will go and buy the real and expensive slab to work with as I gain more experience. So for this slab I try to pick the most straight board as much as possible from the store, and I think it would save me some time to flatten the whole surface, but we'll see how everything turns out later on. So I just put some tape over the two boards here, just so and draw some random shapes so that I can use the jigsaw to cut along these lines here. You can see. So in this area, this will be the resin in this area, and a river that flows along the woods here, and then I will be using some another special tool to chop down these surface, these edges here, so it can go a slope, like go all the way, go to under the water like this. So after nearly 4 hours of having really fun with all of the curtains, routings and sanding, I don't feel my hands anymore. But finally I got the two balls cut to the shape that I like. So here's kind of a preview of the coffee table would look like. And then I will make some small sample of what the ball here would look like after I pour some resin on top of these at the end. but I want to stack cap small scale first, because I like to preview like what is gonna look at the end with all the resin. So I'm thinking, so here is the all of the piece of wood that I cut. So I'm thinking like try now like for this one I just put like a very thin layer of thin coat of resin here to see. So I just want to see the color, how it turn out. And then for this one I will put some stand on this and then do the resin on top for these. And then for these two pieces I'm thinking of like burning out the bottom edge here, so it will become a little bit like a brownish or dark or black on the top at the bottom here. And then I'm gonna do the same like a stand and then put the resin on, and then this one without the stand and just put the resin. So after that, and then I will decide like how the color, how I want to do with the whole like up the bigger model here, which is the final product. So I got some small sample here that I tried last night before I do the same, apply the design to this table here. So this one I stand that with the honey maple stand color. This one is the natural stand, and then this one is the pecan or pecan, whatever you like to pronounce it. With so then on the top of these three, so has some epoxy, the thin coat of epoxy on top. This one has no stand on that with the color here. And I try to see, to burn out like the edges here, just create some effect that if you look from above, you see this one is feel more kind of 3D depth to the river. So I asked my wife and my kids last night about which color they want to pick, and they all picked this color, which is the honey maple color. On the camera, these look the same, but in reality, this one has the lightest color, and then the honey maple, and then the next the natural, and then the pecan color here. So I also try out to mix some small amount of epoxy with a color pigment, which this is the blue Irish color, to see how everything turn out, and turn out pretty good. So it turn out, it dry and hard and feel like plastic to me. So one tip for me, if you are the guys like doing epoxy for the first time, you should try apply the epoxy on the small sample first before you apply to a larger model, which is the final product, like on the slab here. And that's the way you can learn from the first time doing that. If you make any mistake, and then you learn it for the next time you apply to the larger scale. And the second tip is always ask for a second opinion if you can, or a third opinion, and then just combine those opinions to take the best one and apply to the final product. Okay, so I got the two slabs here, stand and sand it down a little bit to the color that I like, or the color that my wife and my kids picked. So I put 3 coats of gel stand of the pecan stand color here on the two slabs, and I also put some veneer, wood veneer, to the side here and to the other side, just to make it look a little bit finished here. Otherwise, this would look like this, and to me, like it's not pretty. And when I stand over this, and this become way much darker than the color that on top of here, so a little bit inconsistent in the color. So that's why I have to put some wood veneer along this side here. So that's all I have for the creating for this part of the video here. And in the next part of the video, I will show how I do the decoration alongside of the river here, and then how I pour and how I calculate the resin and pour the resin to the river here. Alright, I'll see you in the next part of the video.